Okay, today I'm going to show you how to check and repair a load sensing sensor on your washing machine. I'm working on a Kenmore 800 washer, top loader. This instruction will also be good for a lot of other top loading washers, such as a few Whirlpool models. And I'll do some research and I'll list as many of them as I can in the comments below. So what the symptom of the problem that we're having is when you go to start a wash, it goes right into the agitation. So when you pull on this, it just starts agitating right away. So the problem with that is when it gets to the end of the cycle, it starts filling back up with water before it comes to an end. So after your clothes are all washed and spun, it then soaks them again before you take them out to put them in the dryer. So that's very inefficient, and this is an issue that needs to be fixed. It's very common on these washers. So to do that, the first thing that we need to do is open the control panel, and then we're going to test the sensor with a multimeter. So first, to open the control panel, you have to slide a putty knife under here and push on a spring clip. There's one on both sides. So to do that, you got to push in and lift up a little, and then you can push in on the other side. It releases the clip, and then you can lift that control panel up. Now that's the inside of your control panel. You want to be really careful that you don't touch any connections, although it's pretty tough. They're down inside connectors, but yeah, you're just going to want to be careful with that, because at this point it's live, because we need to do a test while it's live. So now we can do our test, and what we're going to want to do is test in between. Hold one probe on this purple, the second one from the left there, I don't know if you can see it, it's up here, it's a little blurry, but you'll hold one probe on the purple and one probe on the white down here on the very end, and your reading should be 120 if the sensor is good. You're also going to want to touch on, have one probe on the red and white one right in here. Oops, sorry, I'm pointing at the wrong one. One probe in on this red and white one, along with the other probe on the white, and if it was good it would read 120. And the final check is between the pink one and the white one, and that would be 120. If any of the readings are not 120 volts AC, then you have a bad sensor. Now another thing that can go wrong is sometimes this hose can get plugged. So if you are reading 120 on all of those and you're still having this problem, you may want to disconnect this hose, blow on the end of it, and see if there's any obstructions. If there is not an obstruction in that and you're reading 120 volts on all the measurements, you may have a bad timer. So you would want to troubleshoot that further to see if it's the timer. I already did a check on my sensor, and I know that my sensor is bad because I'm not getting the 120 volts that I should. So I will be showing you how to change this sensor. So the first thing you're going to want to do is disconnect the wire harnesses. I disconnected these two wire harnesses from the sensor and this tube. Then what you're going to want to do is flip the control panel back over enough to pull out the knob for the one that says fabric softener, at least on my particular model. It's the one that lines up with this switch. So you're going to want to pull that knob out, just pull it straight out. So then flip it back over. You can come in here on the right side, there's a tab. See this tab right here? It's right there by the ground wire. You're going to want to squeeze that tab and then twist and then pull it out. And it's just that simple. So here is the sensor that's bad. This particular sensor's number is W101-77795. I replaced it with a different model, supposedly the newer version of this. So this is the sensor that I replaced the old one with. This is the W102-92584. Supposedly it is the replacement for the other switch that I had in here. And basically, to install this, I'm going to reverse all the steps that I did taking it out. So I'm going to first put it in at an angle. I'm going to rotate this. Let's see, at kind of an angle. Get the knob to stick through. Rotate it at an angle, and rotate it till it clicks. And then I'm going to just reconnect the wiring harnesses. And after I get the wiring harnesses reconnected, I'm also going to trim off the very end of this tube. So when I stick it back on, it has a really nice firm grip. It's a little bit stretched out, and I want to make sure that it has a good firm grip when I plug it back in. So I'll just cut that off with the scissors. So as you now can see, I have the wiring harness reconnected, both wiring harnesses and the tube, after I trimmed off about 1/4 of an inch off the end of the tube. Now you don't want to do this every time you plug it in, because if for some reason you're going to unplug it and plug it in numerous times, your tube will end up getting too short. So just be advised of that. So now I'm going to flip the control panel back down and put the knob on and give it a test. So I flipped the control panel back down. I plugged it back in. Remember, anytime you're working on electrical devices, make sure it's unplugged. With the exception for that one test that I did prior, everything I've been doing has been with the washing machine unplugged. So now that I have it plugged back in, I put the knob back on, just slid it back on, and now I'm going to give it a test. So I pulled it out, it didn't start agitating, and it's starting to fill with water as it normally should. So this did take care of the problem that we had. And let me turn that off. So this did take care of the problem that we had, which was having the washer start in an agitation cycle and then finish in a filling cycle at the end, which soaked the clothes. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, please like it below and subscribe to my channel. And I appreciate you watching. Thanks.